Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Voyager class Evasion mode Optimus Prime. As usual, taking a look at the packaging first. As I mentioned previously, this was acquired from a seller in Canada, so the box may be a little bit different than what we get here in the United States. One of the biggest things that you're going to notice is the trilingual, and they probably have a longer buy on the American one, but that's about it. Nice Transformers logo right here. You got Optimus Prime there. One thing that I noticed is, obviously, the paint is much different than what we have here. This is a whole lot more dulled down, but it's not bad regardless. Has a very G1 look, which is what a lot of people are absolutely loving about this. But you're also noticing that the paint on the back here is a little bit different. For example, his arms, like you see that his upper shoulders are blue, whereas these ones are gray and red. So the coloring is a little bit different on here. Yeah, that has thrown some people off, but I don't think it looks bad. You can come around here to the side. As I've mentioned previously, these all are a part of the Generations line. So they're more geared towards us adult collectors. And then this is where everybody loves it. You got a very G1-esque sort of alt mode, and then you got his robot mode. Comes with a giant rifle, which they're calling an ion cannon. It has a very similar look to another specific leader of a Transformer faction, his gun. So we'll touch on that here in a little bit. But it says that Optimus Prime and the Autobots are faced with a new kind of war. Alliances that were once strong now stand in doubt. Optimus Prime adapts, redesigning his alternate mode so he can move unrecognized. Again, really going to the whole idea that they are in hiding. I really am liking that whole angle, and at some point in time, I would love it if we got a repaint in this sort of coloring with this very dirty, rusty sort of look. So that's about it for him in terms of his packaging. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Optimus Prime open up and out of his packaging. And as you can see, he looks like, well, Optimus Prime. One thing that a lot of people have always complained about ever since the Transformer movies started is that he doesn't have the flat-nosed G1 cab look. Now, Michael Bay has always stood by the fact that if you went with that vehicle mode, there really isn't much to it. So that Optimus Prime in robot mode wouldn't be as big as he wanted him to be. That's why they went with the much larger Peterbilt truck in the movies. But lo and behold, here we have him, and this is not how he looks in the movie. This is an obvious throwback to that G1 toy. Specifically with the red body, you got the silver bit going around, and then the blue back section. For a comparison, here he is. And here is G1 Optimus Prime. And as you can see, the size isn't all that different. I mean, he's noticeably bigger, but not by a heck of a lot, honestly. One thing that you will notice is he does only have one smokestack. In the trailer that we've seen, where they've actually shown this vehicle mode, he does only have one smokestack, so that's basically film accurate. But the color is not anything like this. When we first saw images of that rusted, beat-up looking truck, one thing that you could see obviously was the very faded color, a lot of rust, but you could also very faintly make out the flames that the movie version of Optimus has made famous. This obviously does not have that, so if you're looking for movie accurate, this isn't it. In my opinion, this is just something that's done to make what I affectionately like to call G-whiners. This basically is there for them to be happy with. And I really do like it. I think it's a great looking mode. It's almost better than the classics Optimus that we've gotten. Now, for me personally in my movie collection, I am hoping that they do a more movie accurate paint job on this. such as the dull down color and the very faded flames. But this does have a very special sweet spot. I cannot complain about how fun it is to have a movie toy that looks like a G1 figure. I'm really siding with those G1 guys. This is really very cool. Now, one thing that's weird is this is his weapon. I have lost the missile. I shot it and it went flying. It's behind my desk somewhere, but it does come with a missile that when you plug it in there, you push this little lever here and it goes shooting. But if you notice, this gun really looks familiar, and we have seen this before. This is the rifle that Megatron was carrying in the Dark of the Moon movie. And it's really cool to see that Optimus Prime still has it. He also used this to kill Sentinel Prime, but it's cool to see that he still is carrying it. The thing that sucks is actually how he holds it, though. I'll show that here in robot mode, but vehicle mode, you can peg it there. You got some holes here on the feet. I guess you could put it like that. Okay, you could maybe put it like that, or like that. It's stupid, terrible weapon storage. I wish there was a way you could like stick it up under there or something. That'd be cool, but stupid weapon storage. But to be totally honest, this is never, ever, ever going to be displayed with this guy. And I'll show you what I mean here in a little bit. Now, for his transformation, despite the fact that this guy's very cube-shaped, I don't think they originally intended it like this, but he's a very Rubik's Cube sort of transformation going on here. First, what I'm going to do, come around here, take these, fold this section down, then rotate this out, just get these out of the way. Unsnap this section to loosen this bit up right here, and then in doing so, kind of wiggle it where you can actually then lift this and rotate this around, revealing his head. Then we come to, well, what I think is the most difficult part. Wiggle the side bits here. If you got fingernails, they're kind of helpful. You want to detach this section on the side. Get your nail in there. I kind of have a fingernail on that finger, so that comes in handy. Then once you do that, pull this entire section out, just flop it right there. Then come around here, and you're going to rotate these panels up. Make sure you have it completely detached. Rotate that around. Do that over there. Rotate that around. This part here gets a little fiddly, though, to really manipulate. Kind of take this, lift this out, and then you rotate this around like that. Then bring that down, kind of angle this, and then rotate that entire section. So you can see you're kind of doing a full rotation, but you want to grab here and then rotate this way, which will also rotate this. That's the easiest way that I find to actually do it. Keep these little bits here out. You can bring that all the way up just like so. Then lift this. You can then straighten out the legs. You can split them here, then take this entire section, fold this down. You're creating his feet and his legs. Fold that down just like so. You can extend out his little knee pads. Then, all that being said, you now have his legs done. And you have a giant mangled mess up here. So, bring this whole section down and around. This will lock into place right there. Bring this, you want to, you had it like this. Make sure you rotate that around like that. Kind of angle these down. Bring this over his shoulders and tuck this through here. There we go. Just like that. Then bring these up. You have you actually have two tabs right here, but you only have one tab in section for his robot mode, and that's up here at the top. So bring that up. That'll lock in. That'll lock in. Then roll these arms away. Bring these bits down here. Keep that. It's kind of difficult to keep it lined in. There we go. It barely sits in there. But you bring this around, then you bring this around, and that locks it in pretty securely. Then just rotate the arms down, bring them around like so, straighten out that, rotate that around like that, bring it down, and here you have Optimus Prime. Oh, well, straighten or lift up his head just a little, but here you have him transformed in his robot mode. And in robot mode, this is where we get the movie version of Optimus Prime that we've grown to love. This guy has a lot that is very, very similar to those previous toys that we've seen, and just the design in general. I mean, you got the chest, which is very similar. You got the headlights here. You got these knee bits. His feet are almost identical to how they looked in the film. Obviously, the face is the same. He's got these little bits right here sticking up. He's got the little smokestacks there. I mean, there's so much. Even the wheels up here on his hips are the same. I mean, there's just so much that is similar. It clearly shows that he is just essentially taking a whole new vehicle mode to hide from whatever. Now, as I said, with his gun, the thing that's really kind of annoying is that his handle is right here. So pegging that in, that's how he holds his gun. And this, on mine right here, this, I can't even get it to move. This joint right here, as you can see, is very floppy and loose. I'm going to definitely have to tighten that, but, or just not drop them, I guess. But that's just really a very stupid way to hold a gun. You don't hold the gun there. But one thing that's very cool, zooming in on it, you can see that the handle actually has little tabs on the outer side. Now, Optimus can't hold that because his hands are just closed fists. But if you still have the Voyager class Dark of the Moon Megatron, and just doing a size comparison here, you can see that they scale pretty nicely. Megatron's hand is perfectly sculpted to hold this. On the inside here are little slots that these tabs fit perfectly into. And then when you look at the way that the hand is, the finger comes up to where the trigger is. I mean, this gun is, in my opinion, designed for this figure. And I really don't think that they needed to do it, but I'm so glad that they did. It really completes the look for this. And as I said, this gun is never going to be displayed with him. First of all, it's not his gun. Second of all, it's just kind of stupid how he holds it. And you can see that I'm really going to have to tighten this. That's just way too floppy. But that is absolutely incredible, and I love it. And then for another comparison, here you have him next to the G1 Optimus Prime. And obviously this guy's going to be a bigger figure. But you can see a lot of the same colors come through, with the blue for the legs, the red chest area. Now, some people have really complained about the I guess, upper arms on them. They don't bother me all that much. I do wish that they were the color that they were on the package, I suppose. But I really do believe that at some point in time we'll get a repaint of him. And why do you want to keep falling? That's kind of annoying me. But I really do think that we'll get a proper coloring for him at some point in time. Now, the other thing that I really like on this figure is this guy's face sculpt. Zoom in so that you can see that. That is a absolutely stunning face sculpt. In my opinion, possibly one of the very best that we've gotten for a movie version of Optimus Prime. Now, it doesn't have the mouth guard like a lot of people want, but for me, I have no problem with it at all because 80% of the time, he's like this. He doesn't have that mouth guard, so it doesn't bug me really. But that is just simply incredible. You come around near the back, you can see that he's got a light piping bit here, but you don't really get too much light piping coming through. I mean, you kind of do, but it's not the best, I don't think. Although, I mean, you can sort of make it out there. And it even looks like he's got pupils there. Now, for his articulation, if you don't bring the head forward and you leave it all the way back, it's very limited. You don't get him doing much of anything. You got to lift it up so that you get a nice range of motion. It'll look left, it'll look right, looks up, down. It does have like that neck joint right there, so you do get a lot of emoting with this head. The shoulders here move forward and back. They rotate all the way around. They rotate at the upper part of the bicep, and then they bend at the elbow at a very weird place. You can see where this is all sort of streamlined. You bend it down to have it fully extended, but this sticking out looks weird. I wish there was a way you could have the joint up there so that that doesn't look so weird. I mean, you could keep it like that, but then his arms are constantly bent, and that's kind of weird. And then, like I said, this one here is really floppy, so I will have to tighten that one. He does rotate at the waist, moves forward and back at the hips. Because of the The wheels here, now it's a little bit more limited getting them to move outward, but you can see that in doing so, the wheels actually do move, and they move pretty far. They can come all the way down there, so you can get a very extended sideways kick with them. So I do appreciate that. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh as well. I mean, you can see the rotation joint a little bit better back here. Then he rotates or moves forward and back at the knee. I guess you could say he's got shin articulation, but the feet do move forward and back. They move a little in, but they move out more. So you can get a little bit wider of poses with him, but it's your personal preference. I mean, I've never been very good at posing. So let's see, what can I do? There's the best pose here. No, come on. Come on, Paul. I can do a little bit better than that. It's Optimus Prime. I mean, I can do something, right? You know, well, maybe not. Yeah, well, that's about it. That's the most dynamic I can do for my posing, but it is a great figure. I was really let down with Grimlock. This guy, I'm really not let down at all. I think he is a terrific piece, and I really think that a lot of people are going to like him. It's probably one of the better Voyager figures that we've gotten, and I'm really happy to see that he has a lot of his same design elements here from the previous movies. It just works so much better, I think. Now, for his transformation back, it is a little tricky to do. We're just going to put all this stuff back up. We're going to rotate his feet up like that, rotate them up like that, and we can bring them together, and they will, if you get them straightened, they will tab together fairly nicely. If, again, you have everything lined up properly. Get it tabbed in. Come on now. There we go. Just like that. Make sure that's nice and squeezed together. And we're going to just rotate this up like that. Again, for some reason, there we go. Keeping that nice and squeezed. Then take these chest pieces. We're going to slide these out like so. Kind of loosen this whole section. And we can take this, straighten out his head a little bit, rotate that back, bring that around, and then these little smokestacks, you're going to rotate that around. That reveals his fake grill chest, and then angle that all the way down. Just leave it flop there for right now. Then these arms, you rotate these around. It's really kind of goofy. You want to go like this, and then bring this whole section up and in here. It's really, this is the toughest part, trying to get everything to fit. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Okay, wait. Keep that out, then rotate that out. Do that on both sides. That'll clear up some space. So bring that around. There we go. And then kind of wiggle all this so that it can kind of get up there. You want to get it up there, but it's not easy to do. There we go. Something like that. There we are. Very nice. All right. So do that on this side as well. Make sure you leave that up. It's a pain in the butt, honestly. It's not the easiest transformation because you're really trying to almost force things. You know where they're supposed to go, but you're basically trying to wedge everything in. There we are. Just pull it up there. I mean, you can do it. You can see, once you know how it's supposed to go, it is easier. But you are always sort of pulling on things to get it to line up properly. Then now move this up like that. Bring this up and around. You have to take this and slide these bits underneath these gray sections right there. Put that through. Bring that all the way around. Then tab everything here along the sides. Rotate this section around. Bring this in. Bring these tabs up and line that up. Bring this section in. Bring that section in. Lift this up. Give everything a nice little squeeze. And push that back in. And here we have Optimus Prime in his evasion mode. Back in, well, his evasion mode. Now, in my opinion, this figure is solely painted like this as an homage to that G1 toy, and is a throwback and nod to a lot of us G1 fans. And I think they did a terrific job with it. But honestly, I gotta say that I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't get a movie color before we got this. I would have bought this no matter what. To me, this is something that a lot of third-party companies do, where they'll release a figure that's designed to look like a specific Transformer, but in a wrong color. Like maybe they'll give us the toy color instead of the cartoon color. And then a couple months later, they give us the opposite. almost getting us to double dip. That's kind of what it feels like with this. But honestly, as I said, I would have gotten this no matter what, so I really don't mind. The vehicle mode is just simply gorgeous and so much fun just to look at. The transformation though, while some parts are fairly simple, it still has a level of complexity that I really do enjoy. Now that's not to say that I haven't enjoyed the other generation figures with their little bit more simple transformation, but it's nice that they're still throwing these sort of complex ones out at us. And honestly, the engineering for it is really very cool. I mean, they get a lot going with this, and I'm pretty impressed with it. His robot mode, though, does a great job of really capturing that G1 look because of the colors, but giving us that movie aesthetic look as well. Not only that, but like in terms of his head sculpt, it's probably one of the best Optimus Primes from the movie that we've seen so far. So with each new iteration of Optimus Prime from the movies, things get a little bit better. And I really do dig that. Of all the Age of Extinction figures that I reviewed so far, this is the last one from the Generations line. And despite how much I like Scorn, Optimus Prime has become my favorite of the Age of Extinction figures. At least to date. So that being said, if you can't tell, I highly recommend picking this up. Everything about him is absolutely wonderful. Even down to the weapon that works terribly for him, but works outstanding for the Dark of the Moon Megatron. It's all good if you ask me. So yeah guys, when this comes out in the middle of May, I absolutely recommend finding them and picking them up. But beyond that, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/Optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. And if you like this review, please rate, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.